Hello, my name is James, I'm the Mayor of Jamestown, and today I wanted to talk about two little things in Genshin Impact I would really like to see changed. As someone who's been playing Genshin Impact for about a year now, there are a couple of things that really get on my nerves that I would really like to see sort of changed in maybe some minor ways that I think would be really nice, at least for me personally and possibly someone else who also feels the same way. The first and most prominent for me is the fact that we can't skip dialogue. Now, I've got Hangout gameplay in the background, but that's only because it was the most relevant way of me getting, text and decision making in Genshin Impact without me going out of my way to go and do so. But yeah, going back to my point, we can't skip text in Genshin Impact. And I know that a lot of people seem to really enjoy the story with Genshin, and I get that. People seem to really enjoy the characters, how they're written, their personalities, and that's all fine and dandy. But after the first month of Genshin Impact, I got sick and tired of the story. There's just so much text, and sometimes I just wanted to play the game for the mechanics and nothing more. And yet it completely baffles me that at no point can I skip all the text in a conversation that I don't want to be having. Say for instance there's a new event on, but it's, not pertinent to the story in any way whatsoever. But quite frankly, even if it is pertinent to the story, I should still have the option to skip it. There should be a button I can click that says, do you wish to skip dialogue? There is no reason I can think of to force the game's story and dialogue onto the player, because it just makes people want to avoid the game. Because personally, if it wasn't for the fact that I did my Genshin dailies every single day so that I could earn more primo gems so I could buy more characters in the future when I find a new character I want to play, I'm kind of stuck and burnt out, because every time there's a new event on, I know before I can do any of the event I have to go through pointless dialogue and all of this, and it is so tiresome. It just burns me out of the game, and I can't imagine I'm the only person that feels this way. There needs to be a skip button. It doesn't hurt anyone. If anything, it means that people who want to play the game for the gameplay get to play it more, and the people that want to play the story can still play for the story. You're not forcing anyone to skip dialogue. It's just nice to have the option, is what I'm saying. Now, I know you can obviously click or press F or tap your screen depending on which device you're playing on to skip through lines of dialogue, but I shouldn't have to just be able to skip through a single line of dialogue, move on to the next one, and then have to skip that, because I'll spend the next 2 minutes tapping my mouse and the F key just to get through it all as quickly as I possibly can, when a skip button would get rid of all of this and fix the issue. Now, moving on from that point, I go on to my next one, which is pretty much linked, to be honest, and that is decision making in dialogue. In Genshin Impact, I'm sure many of you have noticed that during dialogue, every now and again, there will be an option for you to pick and choose from. You may have 2 options, you may have 1, you may have 3. The decisions make literally zero difference on the gameplay, the story, the world, everything you do. They are completely pointless and redundant. The only time they ever have any actual use is in the Hangout event, which makes perfect sense because the Hangout event is basically a choose your own adventure novel condensed into 6 small endings. But outside of Hangouts, they're completely pointless, redundant, and they're so unnecessary. So I have the game auto run through text once it's been said. So if I'm doing something on my other monitor, I can just have the dialogue auto go on to the next point. But that will stop the second it gets to a point where I need to make a decision. But the decisions in dialogue don't matter. They don't change anything. They change almost nothing. Sometimes they don't even change what the NPC says back to you. They're completely pointless. I don't see the point of them. As I said, with the exception of Hangout events, because in Hangout events they make perfect sense. But they have no impact whatsoever, and yet they waste time. It's just the only other thing I can think of their use is to make you feel more connected to the characters and your main character when they make decisions with dialogue. But quite frankly, it's just pointless. There's no point to it whatsoever. So yeah, that's my 2 small changes that I would really appreciate seeing in Genshin Impact. Now, do I see them changing the dialogue option in text? No, because I can see that having a use. I can see it, I don't know, I suppose giving people some sort of connection to the world by making decisions in dialogue, albeit they are completely redundant, but that's just my opinion. Do I see them removing those? No. But a skip button would be greatly appreciated. It's nothing but a good thing. Sure, you could have it auto skip through the dialogue because, again, dialogue is pointless. Dialogue choices, I mean, not the dialogue itself. I understand a lot of people really enjoy sort of the world and the story of Genshin, and I'm not knocking that, not at all. But I don't want to have to experience the story through dialogue because I don't want to. I don't care. I'm sorry. The lore just doesn't do it for me. I'm not fussed or fazed by it anymore. It just doesn't interest me. And while that may make me sound like a jaded old man, I still really enjoy the gameplay of Genshin. That's why I keep playing it. It's the only reason I keep playing it, is the gameplay. But if I have to spend like 40% of my time skipping through text to get to the fun part, I'm not having 100% fun in the game. I'm having 60% fun. And that's a shame. Whereas a skip button will make the game 100% more enjoyable for myself, because now I don't have to deal with the dialogue that I've not been enjoying for the last year. And the people that are enjoying the dialogue don't have to use the button. It's a win-win. The only thing you're going to get by forcing people to enjoy the story is forcing people to not enjoy the story. You can't force someone to like your story. If people love the lore of Genshin, they're going to love the lore of Genshin. If they don't, forcing people to skip through it as quickly as they can by spamming the F key is not going to help them get there. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. And with that, I've come to my inevitable end. Thank you for those that stuck around until the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on, you know, a skip button and the dialogue options in Genshin. I'd really like to know what everyone else thinks. I've been James, the Mayor of Jamestown, and until next time, goodbye.